EET, yeah. Right. Evening, morning, day, ladies and gentlemen. Jiggy Tooblack. Right. I got a quick one today. Some people are still caught up in this legal fiction business and complaint business. So the people are still making complaints. If you come across these boys, if you need to do business with them and you have to make a complaint, they have categories of complaints. So you're gonna have complaints that they record if you word it properly, because it's a game they play. They don't care about law, they care about rules and procedures. So if you don't follow their rules and procedures, and if you don't put certain words in the documentation, if you don't put certain letters and numbers, then they call it a purported complaint and not a real complaint. At the same time, sometimes you make a complaint and they don't record it, because if they do record it, they're going to find that the boys in black were at fault, and they're going to have to accept liability. But they don't ever accept liability for anything. These fuckers, right? So you come across these boys, you have to understand your position with them, or comprehend is the right word. I keep using that word, understand. You don't understand anything, by the way. You're like me, because I'm a fool. I don't understand anything. I don't know what they're talking about. That's my best defense. Well, as long as you don't understand, you're okay. But if you imagine that you do understand, you might be in trouble. Right. So I hope that is clear. So if you're gonna make a complaint, so this is a statute. I hope it's not been repealed. We were using it a while back, but if it's still valid, anyone who is in the legal fiction world and needs to use it, you need to check if it's not been repealed or if there hasn't been any amendments to it. But that's the act that you need when you make complaints. Right? So when you're drafting a complaint, you have to put this wording. I'm making this complaint pursuant to PRA 2002. If there's an amendment, you add the amendment to it. Amendment whatever. Right? So it says right there the intention is that any conduct of a person serving with the police, so it's anyone who serves with the policy enforcing system, which has an adverse effect on the member of the public, or that's number one, adverse effect. So as long as it does have an adverse effect on you, then you have a right to complain, right? So it doesn't have to be directly, you don't have to be the victim of the bacon boy. As long as you see somebody else being a victim and it affects you adversely, then you have a right to complain. For instance, you're walking home, minding your own business, keeping your peace, and then you see the boys in black jumping, one guy, maybe six of them, you see. And that's going to affect you. Or if you see them, you're just minding your own business, you and your children in public, and then you see the boys in black attack someone, six of them, with their tasers, and tasered someone in front of your children. That's going to affect you and your children adversely. So you need to make a complaint. That's number one. Number two, or if their conduct is sufficiently serious to bring these corporate policy enforcers into disrepute, right? So most of them, their conduct is disreputable, the way they speak to people. So that's number one. If you find that the corporate policy enforcer is unprofessional, the way he speaks to you, then that is conduct sufficiently serious to bring the policy enforcer into disrepute. So that's a cause for complaint. Okay? So if a policy enforcer is rude to you, You don't argue with him on the street. You make a complaint about his conduct. Okay, it's sufficiently serious to bring them into disrepute. If they don't know how to speak to people, they should not be speaking to people. Period. Right? Now, whether the subject of a complaint or not, right? So you don't have to be, like I said, a victim, right? Now, whether or not you're the subject of a complaint or not, the complaint should be dealt with effectively and efficiently so that the public confidence is maintained, right? So the neo-Nazi Hitler youth, the neo-Nazi boys, they still have to pretend to show a face to the public, to act as though everything they're doing is on board. They have to maintain the confidence, all right? So whereas they might do that stuff in the back, inside the van or whatever else, in front of the public, they cannot do that, right? So if you see them attacking someone or stealing from someone or robbing someone or raping someone or doing anything, you need to make a complaint, right? Now the three groups that can complain about the conduct, remember it's about conduct of somebody, of a person serving the police, are members of the public. So anyone can be, number one, the victim. So if they attack you, the six of them all together, or if they're rude to you, or if they waste your time, if they breach your peace in any way, you're the victim. All right, so you can make a complaint. You can also make a complaint if you observe them victimizing someone else. So you don't have to be directly involved in the matter. You can be far away just observing it. As long as you witness the conduct, you can make a complaint, right? And also, even if you didn't witness it, oh, sorry, oh my God, I left it there too long. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I'm carrying on. I need to read this and get out of here quick. Right, so the third one is the adversely affected by the conduct, right? So if you're affected by the conduct of the police, if you're watching TV, and you see broadcast where they attack someone and this causes you distress, there you go. So you make a complaint, and that's the act that you need. So it's the PRA 2002, Section 12, subsection 1A, subsection A, 1 to C. Look it up, you'll find it there. Use that. Every time you make your complaints, make sure you use this wording. I make this complaint pursuant to this act. Right? Okay. Now, if you're not a man or a woman, and you're a little boy or a little girl, or you're a monkey man who's on somebody else's back, and obviously you cannot read or write, right? Even if you're in that position, somebody can act on your behalf, little boy, and make the complaint. However, you have to give them written authority. So if you cannot write, you can put your thumbprint or put an X to it. All right? And that is the PRA, Section 12, subsection 1, subsection D. That's the one you use. So if you're the third one, someone can act on behalf. If you're acting on behalf of the complainant, then you need to put that wording in. So for instance, you are the man, all right? Your friend is a little boy or a stupid little girl who doesn't know anything, right? So when you draft this complaint on their behalf, you need to put that, okay? That you're making the complaint on behalf of someone, and that's the act that you're using, PRA S12, subsection 1D. All right? If you don't put it in, they're going to pretend that, oh, it's a purported claim. It's a purported complaint, and it's not a real complaint, right? Now, this is good also. The chief conman and the police authorities must keep record of all complaints and purported complaints made to them, right? Every matter recorded and every exercise of power or duty made. That's not mad, it's made, right? You see how tight this is? So if we remember what power and duty is to do the real job. Power is to do their fake statutory powers. That is it. So when they exercise either one, you can make a complaint. So you use complaint regulation 24 when you do your stuff. And give them the numbers they need to do their robotic, give them the orders, the commands. These are the commands, all right? Now, further, If that doesn't work, they have this joke that's called IPCC, right? So if you get somebody who makes complaints, if the conman, this one here, refuses to record the complaint, then you go to the IPCC, and they're gonna. My experience is they're gonna waste your time for. I don't know. That's the procedure anyway. So you make your complaint to the IPCC, and use the same act, right? Now, another provision of the Act of 1996, because the 2002 was a revision of the 1996 when the Police Act went out, and they brought this new one in. Failure or refusal to record a complaint was a major source of concern for complainants. That's how they get away with it. They don't record the complaints because they don't accept liability. If they don't record the complaint, it means they're hiding something, all right? But so these are your numbers, right? So in any situation where the police authority or chief conman has declined or failed to notify or record the whole or part of a complaint, then the complainant must be told of this and the grounds for it, and be informed of the right to appeal the decision. So that's your game right there. So if you see anything you don't like about these the new Hitler youth, you make a complaint, right? So whether you're a victim, a witness, or just somebody who adversely affected by the way these boys are conducting themselves, then you make your complaints, and that's your act you can use to do that. All right. Now, in any situation where the police authority or the chief conman has declined or failed to notify or record, those are the two things. They have to notify and they have to record the whole of the complaint. Then the complainant must be told this and the grounds for it. So if you make a complaint, they don't resolve it, then you ask them to give you the grounds, and they have to give you your rights to appeal. Okay? So be steadfast. All right? They can't move very, very much because they're limited with the rules and regulations. So if they're going to make rules and regulations, they need to follow them, because those are their rules and regulations. Nobody else gives a monkey about their silly rules and regulations except them. That's where we are. Okay? So now the police are under duty, right? Duty, right here, to supply a copy of the record made of a complaint to the complainant and the officer complained about. Use that. It's Regulation 14. They have a duty. It's not power now we're talking about. It's their job. Remember, the power, this is their job. The duty is their job. The power is the money side of it, when they're earning money. This is the statutes they use for the corporation. This is the breach of the law, or the breach of the peace. All right? Duty. Now the police are under the duty, it's a job, obligation, to supply a copy of the record made of a complaint to the complainant and the officers complained about. All right? So if you're a complainer and you complain, this is how you do it. Use this act. Police Reform Act 2002, if there's been any amendments, look them up and put them in. But those are your numbers. Regulation 14. All right? PRA. Schedule 3, paragraph 3.3. It's a good one. All right? It's been cleaned out for you. Regulation 24, to do the records. Right? And then the complaints. PRA, section 12. All right? And that's the one. So there you go. So I hope that's helpful for you, ladies and gentlemen, for the little boys and the little girls. Keep playing your games. No, in fact, stop playing your games. Stand up. Go to your corner. Sit there. Sit in your stool. And put that dance bag, the dance cap over your head. All right? So so that's how it's going. So that's a straightforward one. It's an easy one. If I'm sure you can get the whole act on the website. If you probably go to Ministry of Justice website, you'll be able to get the full act. So if it's any use to you, yep, use it. And make sure you kick some ass. Yeah.
To another time on the block, cause this 40 side where it says shorty rhyme. Tragedy, he used to come through all the time. I'm talking juice crew, not what the word defined. He had a sister named Eric, for sure was fine. That was my first crush. I wrote my first mic, I wrote my first verse. I was about 9, I was about mine, fantasized house buying. Met Paul, he wore some big glasses. Him and Mel Paul took me where G-Rap lived. I was happy just getting some answers. I ain't even know what a record advance was. I'm seeing whole sex in the studio bathroom. But rap dudes thinking, wow, she moved me. Same girl then, right now's a groupie. Back then, she was like a star in the movie. Large jewelry and expensive Gucci. Next stop, made it full posse recruits me. Knew they were some millionaires, they ropes with Dookie. Every beat man looking like Touchy. Every time Ron didn't show, I get to record demos out of tents to blow. I wonder could they tell? How did they know? 16 years later, here I go. Yo!